Made it to the bus, got on the bus, 8:02, and I'm thinking, Chris, 8:02 on a Saturday night, the night's barely started, although by that time I was very drunk. So then Eric says, you coming out drinking with us? And I was like, he said, more drinking? And I was like, I don't know. And then I thought about it and I was like, well, bugger it, I've got nothing else to do, so I might as well. So, we dropped off about half the folk at the school, waved goodbye to them, and then we got dropped off in the town. We found a pub. I don't think I could ever find it again. It was in the middle of nowhere. There was 12 of us, and we went in, and it was basically 2 long tables. One long table was taken up by Chinese folk, and the other long table was taken up by us. Yeah. So everybody was merry by this time. So everybody's trying to speak to me, but so they're using Japanese, and I'm like, wakarimasen, which is, I do not understand. But yeah, eventually they started trying to speak English, and I started trying to speak Japanese, so we kind of got there in the end. And they were like, do you know the Carpenters? And I was like, I know of them. And they were like, do you know the Carpenter song? Because it was karaoke. There's always karaoke at a Japanese bar. And I was like, well, not really. This is the only one I know's Postman. But it turned out the Chinese folk were hogging the karaoke anyway, so it didn't matter. They made me sing one song, and it was Carpenters, and it was Yesterday No More? I'm not sure. I didn't know it at all. But I can read English, so I was singing the lyrics, and everybody in the pub was singing along with me, and I'm like, do not know the tune. Try to follow everybody else's tune. I sounded awful, but they thought I sounded great. But yeah. So yeah, we came out of there. One of the women was she wasn't drinking, she was driving. So she was like, I'll give you a lift home. I was like, okay. You have to make gestures with everything here. It's very irritating. You're like, book, and stuff like that. So anyway, she gave me a lift home, and somebody else who is single, everybody was like, he black belt judo and single. Very strong. And I was like, yeah, and what? Nice to know some things, you know, transcend the language barrier. And then yeah, so she was dropping me off, so I managed to get my wits together enough to say, you know, to tell her where to go. But that was about it, and they were like, see you later, you're a very strong drinker. They were shouting that after I left. I was like, you're a very strong drinker, and I was like, gee, thanks. Something to be known for, isn't it? But yeah, sports day. I hopefully should be able to put up some pictures and videos and whatnot. I won't put any tags on them though, so that folk can't find them, unless you know me, of course. Because obviously it's children, teenagers, whatever. It was really good. It was really hot this morning, so I tried to stay under the, like, we had like a couple of like shelter things, so I tried to stay under the shelters because I'm white, I burn. So it's like an equal thing. I'm white, so I burn. And yeah, even though I stayed under them, I burnt like nothing else. My arms, as you might be able to see, are pure scarlet. Excuse me, as is my chest area. Yes. And my face. You might notice a band, a white band. For our teams, we wear what they call hachiban, which is like a coloured band depending on what group you're in. I was in the white group, which is kind of good because if you sweat, at least that way it's white, so it doesn't make a difference. One of the other teachers was wearing blue and he was sweating a lot, and he's got a blue stripe on his forehead, which is great. Yeah. So very sunburnt. And he was like, I can't. And I'm like, what? But I can't. I'm not sure. It's red is the Japanese word for red, and they kept saying, you're red. And I was like, yeah, very much. So I'm in a little bit of pain, but the drink's numbing it. The onsen, the spa didn't help. It's so funny, you go in and there's a room and you totally get naked, and then you walk into another room and you that's where the onsen is, but at the side there's like a paved bit that you sit at and get washed at. So I'm sitting there getting washed and hitting my sunburn, I'm going ow, 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 and I'm like, why are you saying blue? Because ow is the word for blue. But yeah. So yeah, anyway. When we went drinking when the bus dropped us off and we went into the pub drinking and karaoke and that, I asked for a vodka and coke, which apparently is very unusual here. It's sake or beer pretty much here. But if you have vodka, then you just have vodka. and I was